The opening round of the 2026 season took place on Saturday, the 21st of February at Daytona Sandown Park. 46 drivers took part in this event, making it a record attendance for an EKS event at Daytona Sandown Park, and the race 1s and 2s have already been covered in full race replays. The drone, however, was not able to fly during the race 3s due to the intensifying rain, and instead we can bring you highlights of those races in this video. Finn Irons dominated Junior Race 2, winning that race by nearly 8 seconds, and he did exactly the same again in this race. He started from pole position, he pulled a 1.4 second lead on the opening lap alone, and he ended up winning the race again by nearly 8 seconds. Ollie Kite, meanwhile, started in 5th place on the grid, and he made his way up through the field, getting into 2nd position on the 3rd lap of the race, and he ended up holding on to P2, coming home in a comfortable 2nd. Christian Hill, meanwhile, rounded off a fantastic debut in the series as he finished in 3rd position, having come through from 5th early on, whilst George Bouchamp came through from 6th place early on in the race to come home in 4th. Kai Ferner and Leo Jackson came through in 5th and 6th position, with Josh Melling, Leighton Barkley-Yates and Dominic Fleming not far behind.
Okay, I'm standing here with Christian Hill, of course, winner earlier in the day. Well done on that, by the way.
Thank you.
And ended the day with a couple of podiums. So it was very, very strong. You obviously had a bit of a tricky start to that one, but you still were able to claw your way back on the podium. Felt like Kai Ferner was holding a big train early doors.
Yeah, so it started off like I think 4th or 5th, I believe. I was happy to just kind of stay where I was, to be fair. I felt like tonight or today I had like a good amount of points. With I think a 1st and then a 2nd, so I didn't really want to push my luck, and I've not been to this track, I've not got much experience in the wet, so yeah, I was happy with where I finished, and hopefully I'll do well in the next round.
Yeah, it could be very close with Finn Irons in the final points
Yeah,
tally, so
yeah.
that 3rd place could be all important.
Yep. Yeah, so it should be good.
Absolutely. Well, you've driven brilliantly today. We look forward to seeing you again in future, and thanks for putting on a great show, Christy.
Thank you.
William Tidnam, meanwhile, completed a clean sweep of victories in the heavyweight races. He'd already won races 1 and 2, and he won race 3 once more, beating Ash Shivers by more than 6 seconds in the heavyweight class. Ash, meanwhile, had his strongest drive of the day as he kept William in sight throughout most of the race, whilst Lewis Ashforth rounded off a fantastic first visit to Sandown Park as he came home in P3, only 9 seconds off the win. Lee Whitney, meanwhile, had a fantastic battle for 4th place with a variety of drivers in the heavyweight class. He battled it out with Michael Bowles, Mike Bennett, Richard Danby, Adam Thompson and Anthony Defferel for 4th position. Amongst the various overtakes which happened in this battle before, Richard Danby made a fantastic overtake on Adam Thompson on the penultimate lap of the race. As a result, he came home in P7.
Okay, I'm standing here with Mr. William Tidnam, who's just completed the clean sweep 3 in a row here at Daytona Sandown Park. So it may be very, very wet here, but it doesn't seem to dampen your performance whatsoever. This felt like the hardest one because Ash Shivers was really keeping pace with you in those first couple of laps.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I couldn't see anything. It was quite scary.
You couldn't see anything? How did you comment
to, give my visor a wipe. Yeah, no, I managed to hold the lead, so I'm very wet because I didn't wear a wetsuit. But no, I enjoyed it. It was really good fun.
Lets you feel the rain.
Yeah, yes, I can feel the water. Tell you that.
Yeah, you might want to warm up once this interview is done.
Yes,
but you've got to feel satisfied with that. There's a great chance of coming away with overall victory, I would say, having won all 3 races.
I hope so.
Well, anyway, we look forward to seeing you somewhere on the podium.
Cheers.
And, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
In lightweight race 3, meanwhile, Alfie Shrub continued his dominance that he's shown throughout the day. He started from pole position and no one saw which way he went as he stormed off into the distance and won for the 3rd time on the road on the day by nearly 2.5 seconds ahead of Ross Samuel. Ross Samuel, meanwhile, similarly checked out at the front of the field. He finished more than 7.5 seconds ahead of all of the other drivers, and he kept in touch with Alfie throughout the race. Callum Mendelow, meanwhile, started in 2nd place on the grid, but he got shuffled out wide at turn 1 at the start of the race. He then made his way back through the field, re-overtaking Luke Nick, Cameron Dass and Adam Palmer, who spun out on lap 2 going through turn number 7 and got himself beached on the apex curb. Callum then put the laps in and he managed to break through the pack and finish in 3rd. Ollie Smith, meanwhile, started in 9th place on the grid, but he carved his way through the field and he rounded this off with a sensational move from over a kart length back on Luke Nick, heading in to turn 6 at the halfway point in the race. He then sealed the move off a couple of corners later as they reached turn 1, and Ollie then held on to P4, coming across the line just 3 seconds behind his former teammate Callum. Luke meanwhile came home just behind in 5th position, whilst Cameron Dash rounded off a fantastic EKS debut, coming home in P6, whilst Louis Draper came home in 7th place ahead of Ben Pace.
I'm here with the man who won the final 2 races of the day in spectacular fashion. It is in lightweight class. It's Mr. Alfie Shrub. Alfie, that seemed to go brilliantly well, even under loads of pressure from Ross Sandwell. You seemed absolutely rock solid in horrifically wet conditions.
Yeah, obviously the first heat didn't go to plan, but obviously there was time to make up for it. Ross Sandwell was a rapid driver, so I had a lot of pressure from him. And as it being my local track, I went into both races being confident. And yeah, it came my way. I'm glad it rained because it helped a lot, because I'm more confident with this track in the wet. Even with the dry, I'm more confident, but I do like the wet. So yeah, really happy with the result today.
All of this meant that Finn Irons took his first overall victory in the EKS, winning in the junior class by 3 points ahead of Christian Hill, who can be very proud of his EKS debut. Josh Melling, meanwhile, held on to 3rd position overall as he took the final step on the podium, but he tied for points with George Boucham. He came home also on 127 points, with it going down to who had the fastest lap time. Whilst Ollie Kite put in a fantastic drive in the 2nd and 3rd races, he came home just a point off of the overall podium, and he'll be ruining his mistake in race 1, where he spun out and finished at the back of the field. Ross Sandwell, meanwhile, held on to the overall victory in the lightweight class on what was his lightweight debut, winning the event by just 1 point ahead of Alfie Shrub, where he'll be ruining his error in race 1, where he clipped Ben Payne's round at the start of the race, getting himself a 30-second penalty and dropping himself down to 11th position. This though was a statement drive from Alfie as he took his first EKS overall podium, and Callum Bendolo took the final step of the podium at what is nowadays his home circuit. He put in a very strong performance throughout the day. He had a couple of spins in race 2 which cost him dearly, but he did a fantastic job to recover to 3rd overall. Ollie Smith, meanwhile, made a superb return to the series at kart and track combination not normally suited to him, and he came home on 121 points, just ahead of Adam Palmer, who'll be kicking himself for his spin in race 3, whilst the 2021 Euro Formula Open champion Cameron Dass came home in 6th position, tied for points with Adam Horton. William Tidnam, meanwhile, proved that his overall victory in this event last year was no fluke, as he won all 3 races in the heavyweight class and won the event by 17 points ahead of Lee Whitney and Ash Shivers, who tied for 2nd position, with Lee taking 2nd place courtesy of having a faster lap time. Lewis Ashforth, meanwhile, finished only a point off the podium in 4th position, having made the trip down from Sunderland to Sandown Park for the first time. He had a very impressive first visit to the circuit, coming home in 4th place, with Mike Bennett then coming home in 5th. Michael Bowles made a strong EKS debut, coming home in 6th place, whilst Adam Thompson and Richard Danby were tied for points in 7th and 8th place. That brings to an end our coverage of round 1 of the 2026 season. Our next round is this Saturday at Wallen Law up in Sunderland, with 53 drivers already booked in. We'll see you all then.